This is the What Car EV podcast for Thursday, October 9th, 2025, episode 243. Decontented effectively. All right, we're trying this again with the same software as last week, but I'm going to edit it differently this week. So hopefully, I don't know. Last week was fine. It was fine.
Thought it turned out okay.
Yeah, it was a little choppier than what I was hoping for.
Well, and there are also some other bells and whistles to this platform that we're discovering.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we changed over to it. I'm Phil Royle. I am here. That's about all that you can say. I'm very unaware of what's gone on in the last week because, much like in previous weeks, all through September, I just travel. So I've just finished another trip, and hi. I don't
Hello.
know. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on this week. I'm gonna learn along with all of the watchers and listeners. Oh, you want to watch? YouTube.com/@thewalkcar. You can watch there. You want to listen? I don't know, podcast apps.
Platform of your choice.
Yeah, we're everywhere outside of there.
Ed Sanchez, podcaster of 4+ years, going strong. Been dabbling around in various automotive stuff for a long time before that. But here we are.
Here we are.
So this, shall I start us off?
Yeah, why not? Let's, what? We're here, we're recording. We might as well do a podcast.
This was, I think, ultimately, for me at least, a little anticlimactic. This is something that's been rumored for years, hyped, speculated. I mean, you name it. So we finally have the specs. This is something Elon himself kind of spoiled a couple months ago, when I guess, I can't remember if it was somebody asked him or he tweeted or X'd or whatever. Says, "Oh, what about the low cost car?" And he says it's basically a Model Y. And that's basically what it is. So
this is the actual low cost. This is the mythical $25,000 Tesla.
It's not 25,000.
Okay.
This is
right.
the.
This is it. This is what we've been waiting.
Well, for I'd say for at least the next couple of years. I mean,
okay,
maybe 28, 29 plus. We may see that unicorn $25,000 car, but anyway, for now, this
let me ruin that for you. There's never going to be a $25,000 Tesla. Never. Inflation doesn't work this way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if there will be, they better act fast because, like I said, I think 2030, the dam is going to break and the beast from the east is going to with EVs.
Yeah, if there's a $25,000 EV, it's from China. It's not from America. Okay, so anyway. Tesla unveils the Model Y.
Model Y standard. So effectively, this is, for all intents and purposes, maybe the fanboys will come after me with torches and pitchforks. It's essentially a new trim level. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Is it a new trim level or a decontented?
Well, I mean, decontented effectively. But so none of this has been rumored and speculated and tweeted, screenshots, I mean, you name it, over the past couple of weeks. So none of this is really surprising from, those that have been kind of tracking this. So no, it says no glass roof, but that's not really true. I guess it's still a glass roof, but they added a headliner inside. And supposedly that was cheaper than re-engineering a metal roof. I don't know.
So could you just remove the headliner? Just find a regular Model Y in the junkyard or something, and
just like get a box cutter and like cut it out.
Yeah,
I have no idea. Anyway, so no, I guess no what they're calling panoramic glass roof. So you can't look up and clear blue sky, which for a bald guy like me is, that's not an issue for me. I'd rather go ahead.
Does anybody want a glass roof? I'm sure. You know what? Make a comment on our YouTube video. I don't know people that like the glass roofs.
Well, I put in almost within like a week or two of buying the car, I got
Of buying your Model
a
3?
mesh Model 3. I got a mesh screen off Amazon. Just because, even though say, oh, it's got 100% UV protection, all that, on a sunny day, my bald noggin was still feeling the heat.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really want this.
I've got a sunroof in one of my cars. I never have that open. I've always got the shield thing over it. And when you open it, it's like instant sweat.
Yeah. The last time I owned a car with the sunroof, honestly, the only thing I used it for is I cracked it open on hot days.
Yeah.
To kind of let the heat
yeah.
disperse. But
so the
other
Teslas,
than that,
they're like,
I almost never used it.
The Teslas and other EVs with these glass roofs, it's like the worst of the world. You can't open it. And it lets all the heat in. Yeah. All right.
So that's that.
So this episode's just about glass roofs, right?
Yeah. No rear display. Again, not a surprise. That was rumored. They got rid of the light bar, the horizontal light bar. So it's got these just two little squinty headlights on the outside. Kind of looks like the Model 3 now, somewhat. Fabric seats, standard 18-inch wheels and tires. 19 inches optional. 69.5 kilowatt hour battery, presumably LFP. The report I saw didn't specify that, but that would be my guess. 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds. Again, this is for the Model Y. They also debut, but it's kind of secondary, a kind of a decontented Model 3 as well. And a lot of the specs are fairly similar, but Car and Driver has a little more detail on the Model 3. I think the price on that is like $1,400 cheaper than the Model Y. But so anyway, this is it.
Over 300 miles of range. Did you say that?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, 321. I guess if you get the 19 inches, it drops it down to like 303 or something.
Still, it's really good.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know. I mean,
and 40
speaking
grand.
and observing as a Tesla owner, I was kind of underwhelmed. I just saw that and I was like, okay.
In Tesla's defense, it's a base model car. They have just, after years of having the Model Y, they have now just released the base model. So yeah it shouldn't excite you. There's nothing here that should excite you outside of the price. It's just simply to get.
But that's the thing. The price doesn't excite me either.
No,
I guess I'd be more enthusiastic if it was like 35 or 36. I'd say, wow, that's a really good deal. But this is with destination. This is almost $42,000. So I'm kind of like,
I was talking to a guy I know that's got an Ioniq 5, and the lease is coming due on that. And he is looking at getting a Rivian R1T, a used one. So early, first year or two of production. And he said that he can pick those up for about 40. So now there's a used market of really good cars, of good EVs that have cratered. Like, I mean, because manufacturers like Rivian, they're not going to have like even Mercedes and BMW have like, doesn't Mercedes have like the worst resale value of like any vehicle, like way worse than like Hondas? And I mean, Hondas and Toyotas have like the highest resale value.
Yeah, Hondas and Toyotas are like some of the best. But
so Rivian was just going to crash anyway with this. But now you've got the choice of a Model Y decontented base model, or you could buy a couple-year-old Rivian. Like, it is a pretty hard sell.
Well, not to mention, I mean, the Model Y's been out for a couple of years. You could probably get one decent one like mid-20s now, probably.
Yeah.
So
I guess on one hand, I'm saying, yeah, you shouldn't be excited by this car because it's a base model car. Who's excited about, like, you read car reviews and they never go, oh, then, here's a review of the new Civic and we tested the base model. Manufacturers never give it to a writer to test the base model. It's always like it's got all the whiz bang features to it. So they know that there is nothing of interest in a base model other than the price. And that's what you've just discovered with this. It's a non-interesting vehicle other than the price. But then, like you said, the price is still too high. So there you go.
It's not to me. I mean, who knows? I could be pleasantly surprised, and the next couple quarters, their sales could like could really take off with this. I personally, between the price difference between this and the what I guess they consider the long range rear wheel drive model, which is roughly about 5,000 more. I mean, not that I'm like blown away by those extra, like the rear display and the panoramic roof and whatever, but I don't know. I mean, for that difference in price, why not get all the goodies?
It's 5,000 like, doesn't seem like a lot when you're talking $40,000 car, does it?
So it's to me, this isn't like, oh, I just got to have this. It's like, if it was 35, 36, I might say, wow, that's a really good deal. I think I might get one. I mean, for me personally, but
the charging, I've noticed, is also lower on this. 225 kilowatts instead of 250. Well, you
not
say
a huge difference.
No, but it's in their estimate. They're saying in 15 minutes, it's a 9-mile difference. So 160 miles versus 169. It starts to add up with time. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's long story short, it's basically it lowers the entry point a little for people that want to get into one.
For the little people.
The little people. But to me, this is not a screaming bargain. This is not a game changer.
Nah, I think you're right.
Could it increase sales? I'd say a little, but I don't think this is gonna like double their sales overnight. So I don't know.
Interesting thing is on this Inside EVs article, they list that it has less cargo space too, 74 cubic feet instead of 76.
Yeah, and I don't know what accounts for that. I don't know if has something to do with the design or the battery packaging or the LFP is volumetrically larger and that cuts into the space. I don't know. I don't know. It's what it is. I mean, if this changes your opinion and this makes you want to buy one suddenly, please comment in the YouTube comments of this video. But for me, this is not. No, it's not like, oh my gosh, I got to get one right away.
I think you're right. Like, if you really want a Model Y, just buy a couple-year-old used one.
Yeah,
save more money and get a better model.
To me, this is kind of anticlimactic. I just, I don't know, not blown away. Saying this as a relatively happy 2019 Model 3 owner.
Saying it as a Tesla stan.
As a Tesla stand. Incidentally, this is almost exactly the same price as mine was new. But I just, I don't know.
Not doing it for you. All right.
Not doing
Tesla
it for me.
Model Y Performance now offers what? 120 volt vehicle to load output. Wow.
So basically like what Hyundai's had for the past 4 years.
This is like the iPhone versus Android, where the iPhone comes out with a feature and then
everyone's like, oh, wow.
It's been on Android for the last 8 years. What are you doing? Yeah. Is this a big deal? 120 volt V2L?
So you can basically run a coffee maker or, whatever, or string lights off your car. I mean,
do we know the wattage output? Could you run a coffee maker?
Actually, that's a good point. I mean, because coffee makers are kind of wattage hogs.
Yeah, I
actually don't know. Something. Maybe not.
Yeah. It looks like they may have. This is where I should have done any amount of research. That according to this article, Teslarati. In response to Tesla shareholders who highlighted the much requested feature, the official Tesla X account noted that V2L is possible with the Tesla outlet adapter. New Model Y Performance offers vehicle to load 120 volt, 20 amp AC with Tesla outlet adapter. So that's all they've written.
Yeah. So we don't know the wattage.
Well, isn't it volts times amps? Am I wrong? It'd be 2,400 watts. So we could run a coffee maker. Yeah.
You could run a coffee maker. You could even probably run a microwave off that.
Yeah, you should be able to. I say that with confidence, but I can't run the one on my camper off of a 2,000 watt generator. So yeah, you might just be able to get it. Yeah, that seems fine.
It's useful. But again, it's not new. This is something Hyundai's had when the EGMP cars came out, the Ioniq 5 and EV6 initially. Now it's expanded a little bit. They've had this for several years. So it's kind of a little bit us too, I think. I mean,
I'm curious what the use case is for some of this. When I go camping, I see a lot of car campers. I say car campers. They're not really camping in their car. They're driving their car and then they're I guess they're tent campers. There you go. And a lot of them have EVs. And I never see a cable coming from the car out to be cooking on like a induction stovetop or something like that. Everybody uses the little propane screw-in canister. Everybody's using little lights that they like. Nobody's plugged into their EV. Nobody, even the Rivians, like nothing. So I kind of wonder how useful this actually is. I mean, you can charge laptops off of the USB port in cars generally.
Slowly. Even though they're USB-C,
yeah, I guess this would make it faster.
Because I mean, hypothetically, USB-C has an output of up to 100 and now over 200 watts in some instances. But the ones in cars, even though it's that same form factor, it's not that much output. So yes, you could, but
it's like charging your EV on 120 volt is what it's like.
Effectively. So, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I mean, to me, this is something they should have had from day one. You know, and for that matter, there is some speculation that this is going to go over as an OTA update, and all of a sudden, all the Teslas are going to have it. Because I've seen some reverse engineering of some Tesla components that reveal that the cars have a lot more capability than they were shipped with initially. So a lot of people say the componentry, most Teslas will support this natively. They just haven't activated it. So,
according to the article, Tesla Shop has it for just $80 for the adapter.
Cool.
So
I think that
$80
might be Europe,
to power
Europe
something.
only right now. I don't know if that's the US models too.
Yeah,
ultimately it'll be global. I mean,
I'm not super excited about it, but I think the reason I'm not super excited about it is because, like you said, it's something that it should have had from day one. What was up?
Yeah.
It's hard to get excited about a feature that we've been talking about for a long time on other cars.
How I feel about the Model Y Standard.
Yeah. That
should have been on the menu since day one, I think. But anyway.
Yeah.
Twist of the screw. So speaking of what a lot of people consider one of the primary competitors to the Model Y, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So as we know and have well covered, the $7,500 tax credit is going away. As of a week ago, it went away. So a lot of car companies are adjusting their pricing in response. So Hyundai Ioniq 5 gets massive price cuts. In some cases, almost $10,000. So,
well, that's nice.
And the 26s are going to have the NACS too.
And you can also plug in like accessories into the power port with their adapter and have been able
the little dongle that they've had for years. So, I don't know.
Oh, I saw an Ioniq 9 just parked at the side of the road.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah, the big one. I've seen a couple of those now. They look really nice for being an oddball vehicle. The Ioniq line is very strange looking. So the Ioniq 5, 6, 9, that's all the ones that there are, aren't there?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. They all look kind of unique and weird and good in their own way. I quite like it. I think it's a hit that they've got.
Yeah. So anyway, so I mean, I don't know how much that's cutting into their profits or if they've somehow figured out how to kind of take some of the costs out of it.
Well, I would say that they'd be getting, if they're going to do price cuts upwards of $10,000 in that range, then it's going to cut into their profit by roughly $10,000.
Well, no, I mean, I guess,
they didn't suddenly find something that made them $10,000 cheaper to produce. It didn't just happen.
No, but I'm just kind of wondering what their calculus is with this. I mean, I'm sure at least short term it's in response to the tax tax credit going away. But this is not a long-term business strategy if they're taking a loss. So
yeah, they've said, was it Hyundai Group in general, that they make money on all their cars. But I don't believe they've revealed the truth behind that. I think that's just a statement that they've made at a car show somewhere along the way. So that seems like a lot of profit if you can just cut $10,000 off of the price of the vehicle and still make money. It seems like you were making money hand over fist.
Yeah. So this is, well, I mean, I have to say though, when the Ioniq 5 first came out, I thought it was a little bit overpriced for what it was. So I mean, maybe this is where it should have been in the first place.
Yeah. Hey, we can hope. Anyway. That they've just been raking everybody over the coals for all these years, and now it's just going to be more affordable. Sure, why not? I'm still not going to like. I like those. Not to go on. The Ioniq 5 is nice. I don't know if I imagine.
I mean, I haven't priced one out. I mean, what's like a 22 or 23 model?
Oh, used. I'm sure that they're pretty good. I'm sure that they're super affordable. Yeah, because they're just such an oddball vehicle when you look at them that I don't know. I still don't know what to think about it. I want to like it, but it's too big. Like I want it to be
what surprised me about it is when they showed the concept. My first thought was there's no way it's going to come to market like that.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be toned down. It's going to be more conservative, more conventional. And when the production car came out, it looked almost exactly like the concept. And I was like, dang, they really did that.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been...
Same with the Ioniq 6. Again, I thought like that is way too out there to come to market like that. And
they brought it to market, and the buyers also thought it was way too out there. They have not been selling super, like.
So,
but then again,
I'll give Hyundai. I'll give them credit for being bold, but sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so this is one of those forbidden fruit models that we cannot get in the U.S. Will we someday? Who knows? I think it's a vehicle both of us would be interested in if it did come to the US. The Zeekr 001. So this is the wagon shooting brake liftback large sedan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this recently got.
Oh, it's just, are all the O1s, are they performance-y? Because they have like a performance version of this, don't they?
No, the one I think I'm trying to. I think the top line. I want to say it's called the SR. I think that's 1,000+ horsepower.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but they have, more regular kind of, not super,
super crazy.
Yeah.
1,200. The 001 FR, 1,200 horsepower quad motor. The 001 models range from 500 to over 900 horse. So even your base model, still okay.
Yeah. So these are basically roughly equivalent, I'd say, to like a Model S or like a Lucid Air kind of. So anyway.
So what are they doing now? Why are we talking about this?
I guess they got an upgrade to a 900 volt architecture. I guess previously they were 800.
Just 800.
Just 800, just slumming it. Yeah. So the big claim to fame, I guess, is they're claiming 10 to 80% charging in 7 minutes, which is pretty impressive.
On all those 900 volt chargers that are out there. Yep.
Yeah. So do you remember? So some of the Rolls-Royce models have like this LED kind of like constellation headliner.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like a starry sky.
Yeah.
So I guess this one
got like 1,000 LEDs in the roof liner.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like fiber optics. But
yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah, but it's something like 1,000 of them in the roof liner. It's crazy.
Yeah. So this one has one too, but I guess it's an actual display. It's called the Starry Sky Concert Hall Headliner. So I'd love to deal with that 10 years.
Is that, I mean, can you put a TV on there? Is that?
I'm assuming. I don't know. I think it's an actual display. So I mean, if you wanted to, lie all the way back and watch movies, I mean, presumably you could. I don't know.
Is it the glass? Is it so? It's got to be a glass ceiling, glass roof,
Yeah.
because that's what it looks like in the pictures. So is this just embedded into the glass, or like?
I'm assuming. I don't know.
Ah,
I'd hate to deal with it 10 or 12 years down the road when it finally kind of says that's it.
a lot of this stuff is like that, though. Like
Yeah.
EVs introduced because they were so expensive. They introduced a lot of features, so it was hard to get a decontented EV for the longest time. And so you had all of the bells and whistles, and those is the bells and whistles that break on a vehicle. Like the drive line and everything is pretty bulletproof for the most part in most vehicles. And it's all the things like this. Like imagine this, and then you've got like three lights, three little stars that never turn off. Like in 10 years' time, you've always got these lights on.
Or it's just blacked out, and it's just like, I guess at that point it's like, oh well, fun while
Or
it lasted,
flickers.
but
I've got the reverse camera
that would be annoying. Yeah.
in my F-250. There's something going on. I've tried like cleaning all the connectors, but my reverse camera, because it's a aftermarket one, when you're bouncing down the road, you'll hit a bump and the screen will like flicker white. And when you're driving at night, it's kind of distracting.
Well, do you just leave it on like the whole time you're driving?
I mean, it only turns on when you put it in reverse. But
okay.
it also turns on when you're driving down the road and you hit a big bump with 80 pounds of pressure on your tires while towing. It will do something and it will power it. And then it like flickers white and you get like this little flicker, like Max Headroom comes on. I don't know. And tries to sell you Pepsi. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you about how this, because I mean, a lot of these, aside from the EV specific stuff, the whole concept of like whiz bang bells and whistle tech stuff has been in some form or another, I'd say over the last 15 years, cars have kind of had this stuff. And we've seen with like slightly older Mercedes and BMWs, like from 10 or 15 years ago, a lot of this stuff starting to go out. And, a lot of people wonder why you can get, a 15-year-old 7 Series for about the same price as a 15-year-old Camry, is because the cost to repair that 15-year-old 7 Series is probably more than you paid for it. Because of all like, oh, your AC condenser went out. This went out. You need to do this. You need to do that. Oh, how much is that going to be? Oh, about 15 grand.
It's like, funny that you
paid 12 for it.
Yeah, you mentioned the 7 Series. What was the big engine that was in that? They had like
a V12 at some point.
Yeah, and that had something like 4 ECUs to run it.
Well,
and
2,
so if there was
at least, yeah.
So I know that because the owner of a company that I worked for had one, and whenever there was a slight electrical issue, you would take it in, and it was like crazy amount of time, and then even more ridiculous amount of money to repair this thing. It just had, I don't know.
I have a funny similar story too. This is way, way back in my ancient history. So for a brief amount of time, I worked at a BMW repair shop. Just kind of phone answer, go for kind of entry level grunt job. But I remember one guy, this was like the first generation, I think, I want to say like the E32 750. So like the first generation of the 750 IL. And that was the one with the twin ECUs. And so he brought it in for service, and they took it out for a test drive, and foot to the floor, it would do like 20 miles an hour. And they're like, what is going on with this? So I guess what had happened is they had flip-flopped some sensor from one bank to another. And like you said, it had separate ECUs for each cylinder bank. So it was reading like the O2 sensor from the wrong side, and it kept trimming the fuel, thinking it was running like too rich or too lean or something. But it kept retarding the spark and reducing the fuel, so it just like would crawl. And then finally, when they figured it out and switched them back, it ran fine. But yeah.
Long story short, don't buy an old 7 Series.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I mean, so far I've been fairly fortunate with my Model 3, but every now and then it does some squirrely stuff. In fact, next time I need to bring it in, I might mention to my infotainment display. It's been a little laggy. The Sirius XM has been doing some weird stuff. I had the infotainment screen go black on me just going down the road. And
Wow.
it rebooted and it was fine, but it was like, it's making
Do you
me a
think
little
that's
nervous.
related to like how you get computers? You got an old computer and then you upgrade and upgrade and upgrade, and you're on like an OS that it never was designed for. You're 2 generations later, and now the thing doesn't work at all. Is it kind of like that, do you think? Do you think that they're upgrading you beyond the abilities of the hardware? Do you think you're going to have to go and spend another $1,000 and replace the good hardware for?
I hope not. I'm hoping that they're doing enough validation and QA on this that they know what the systems can handle, and they're not pushing out software that's beyond the capabilities of the built-in hardware.
It's funny because I know this guy with a Model 3 that just told me a story about.
I don't know, but yeah, so yeah, go. It might say, oh, if you're having this issue, come in pay us $1,000 and we'll replace it.
Yeah.
Funny, you probably know a guy that did that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So knock on wood. We'll see. We'll see where I am a couple years from now. But
I made a comment about the Zeekr going to 900 volt and all those 900 volt chargers that are out there. I think China's probably a little bit different. I don't know. Never been to China. I don't know. But I like the idea of high-end EVs trying things like this. I think Lamborghinis should be on 900 volt, 1200 volt architectures that you can only charge at a Lamborghini dealership or something like that.
Or a Yang dealer.
Yeah, whatever, wherever. That's where you push the limit. So when you've got something like this that is the equivalent of like a Lucid Air Sapphire or a Plaid or whatever, that this is something that you can push those limits on, and I applaud that. And you're going to be paying for it.
Oh yeah, I mean the FR, to your point, even in China, it's like over 100,000.
Yeah, but this is how we get everybody to 800 volts, which is, I think, ultimately where I would love to see all the EVs. I think 800 volt brings fueling parity. If you then work on the charging curve and of the things
you could make the case that Hyundai kind of democratized it with the eGMP. It was formerly just like premium, like Lucid Air. I mean, even today, the Model S is still 400 volt. Ironically enough, but the newer Porsches and the Lucid Air, and they said no, this is kind of our mass market model, 800 volt. So good for them.
Even though they came out with a model, Hyundai came out with a model later on that was not.
Well, they've have this new kind of. I don't want to get a nasty grin from Hyundai, but kind of a quasi eGMP. It's 400 volt. Yeah. So a little bit lower costs, but anyway.
It's for the poor people.
For the pause.
Yeah.
So anyway, we try not to get political, but sometimes the politics come to us. When come November, I think we all said, yeah, he's going to basically scrap all the EV friendly policies. And true to form,
Trump, I'm assuming.
Huh? He being
Trump, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes. So hence the tax credit went bye-bye. They tried to get rid of NEVI, but I guess they were thwarted by the courts. So he tried to. Initially, they tried to freeze the funds, and a judge said, "No, you can't do that. That they've already been allocated. You have to give them out." And I guess because the administration did not appeal it in a certain amount of time, they kind of forfeited their chance to appeal it. So they just said, fine. Okay. So what's kind of interesting about this though, is, so they're dispersing the funds, but it sounds in some ways with fewer strings attached. So I guess, under the Biden NEVI plan, they wanted them every 50 miles on, I don't know, certain highways or freeways or whatever, and they're prioritizing national parks and stuff like that. So I guess Duffy and the DOT under Trump just got rid of all that and say, hey, we don't care who you are, restaurant, gas station, hotel, whatever, you're all eligible to get these funds. Which
They just want to blow through the funds, don't they?
well, I guess, but honestly, I'm not mad about that. I I I say put them where they'll get the most use, where they'll get the most traffic. I think really, if they get too didactic and too specific about the requirements, I mean, maybe, dogmatically and philosophically, they may say, oh, well, this is equitable and whatever. But if they're just going to sit there and gather cobwebs, I mean, I don't know. I think it's better kind of to do the calculus from a usage perspective. It'll definitely be a quicker ROI on the companies putting them in, whether that's the side owners or, like Connect with the gas stations and stuff like that. So I'm not really mad about this. I'm mad. I initially kind of rolled my eyes that they froze them in the first place. I wasn't surprised. I mean, I knew they would.
We all knew. Yeah.
But it was like really, guys. But with these revised guidelines, I'm not mad. I mean,
I'd have to read through
how it should be, but
part of me is like, the cynical part of me is like, they just open it up to get rid of the funds so they don't have to deal with this, so they can kill the department later on. And then they can also take another victory lap when all of this stuff gets installed, doesn't get used, and then they can just call it a big boondoggle from the Biden administration because they just basically handed out all this money, and then there's going to be like all this corruption, is what always happens when government funds are given willy-nilly. And they're just going to say, oh, look at the mess that Biden made. And they're setting the old administration up for failure, and then they can be like, well, and we're not going to renew any of this stuff because look at the fraud that happened and the giant waste of money. That's my knee-jerk reaction. But like you said, I mean, if it actually just gets used, okay, they before were prioritizing things like national parks. I don't know if there's a huge need for EV chargers in national parks.
Yeah, same. It's like, okay.
I mean, there's a lot of usage there, but you don't need a ton. So don't prioritize that. Have some incentives. But it depends on what it is and how it's being done. And the cynic in me says that there's no way it's going to be done better by an administration that wants to get rid of the funds and eliminate all the green credits and everything. So part of me is like, this is like, I can't even think. It's like asking the guy that I can't even think. It's asking somebody to sell something else that's a direct competitor to what he wants. And it's like, well, he's just going to blow it out and not care.
Okay, so I've got a slightly different take on this. And maybe you'll say, Ed, you're full of it. But maybe you'll say, oh, I hadn't thought about it that way.
But I'll wait until the end until I say
that. You got to look at the primary interest group that has the ear, respectively, of the Biden administration, the Trump administration. Democrats traditionally have kind of been beholden to government employees, labor unions, those kind of special interests. The Republican special interests are businesses, primarily. So I am not intimately familiar with the old NEVI guidelines, but I'm wondering if it basically effectively kind of cut out businesses like gas stations, like commercial developers, and it prioritized national parks, municipal installations, disadvantaged neighborhoods, so forth. So from a feel-good perspective, you're like, oh, we'll put them in here and here, and we'll make it equitable and available to all. I think probably under Trump, they're taking much kind of colder calculus about it. Like, how can we make money off this? And from a business standpoint, they're like, where are we going to get the most utilization? And that's where we need to prioritize because we'll get our ROI. We'll have ROI.
As long as they keep in mind the idea, because I think the original one, didn't you say it was like X in a certain distance, you had to have chargers in every X miles or whatever it was. That was
I
part
think
and
every
parcel of.
50 miles or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So as long as he keeps something like that in there, then that's fine. There's nothing worse than going on a trip and there's like no ability to fill up later on. Like having a ton of
Yeah.
stations in like Phoenix, but then there's nothing until you get to LA does not
Yeah.
work for your trip between
Well,
Phoenix
I
and
mean
LA.
that is a concern, and I think you will see under these new guidelines more concentration in around urban areas and maybe less on the freeway. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, case in point, a few months ago, I went on a trip to Texas and to Bucky's. Bucky's has like 60 superchargers around it, in addition to their gas station. So you might see some build out on like heavily traveled, interstate and highway, thoroughfares. But to your point, whereas under the Biden guidelines, you might have one in Podunk, New Mexico. Under this, there might not be quite as much incentive because they're like, well, we're going to get like, three users a month.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the problem with them is that, okay, so you have them every 50 miles, but if they're only, if only 20% of them are being used, then the others are just going to go into a state of disarray and not get the maintenance.
And ultimately pulled out and,
yeah,
who knows?
But, so time will probably end up
so
with roughly the same answer.
Yeah, I'm not really mad. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. On the one hand, you want them kind of in remote, maybe not highly traveled places in kind of a just-in-case scenario. But from a business and side owner perspective, you want maximum utilization. And that will be concentrated around urban areas, interstates, tourist attractions, so forth. So, I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, but net, I think it's a good thing they finally kind of release the funds and they're gonna get out there somehow.
Yeah, better than no funds.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, so this is kind of the wrap up. I don't know if we even want to get into this.
You kind tell me what it is.
Okay, so I don't know, I can't even remember if we've ever discussed this on the podcast, but there are some EV motorcycle makers.
There are. Seen some cool ones.
Yeah. So one of the bigger ones is Zero, which is actually not too far from where I live. It's in the Santa Cruz area. And they've been there for, I mean, basically since their founding, which was in like, I want to say like 2006, like 2010, something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So they've been doing it for a while. The early ones were basically like fancy e-bikes. The new ones are like legit motorcycles.
Yeah. I just clicked the link in the show notes.
Yeah.
That it looks pretty good.
Yeah. They are moving to the Netherlands. And the reason why is they said Europe is a much faster growing market for them than the US.
Oh, I can believe that. Completely.
Yeah. So anyway, they're still going to keep like an R&D office in California, presumably to kind of draw from the Silicon Valley, tech brain trust. But manufacturing, logistics, that sort of thing, I guess they're moving to the Netherlands. So anyway, kind of an interesting and I don't know, at least unexpected for me. I mean, I don't know, people that watch this sector a little close. I mean, maybe this has been in the works for a while, but a little bit of a surprise to me. But yeah, we'll see.
I think that I can't disagree that there's more of a market over there than there is here. That makes sense. It's whether or not they're being chased out, not to talk politics, but is that like they're just seeing it as if they're going to survive and you need government funding or assistance, or you want to.
I'm sure that was a factor, and I would guess the EU probably has much more generous incentives.
Yeah.
And my guess, again, I maybe I can research for the next episode. My guess is this has been in the works for at least since the beginning of the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Possibly before, though. And they saw what incentives were available from the EU or from the Netherlands specifically that said, hey, we would love to have you over here. We'll give you, however many
Everything
million
you
euros.
want.
What? Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure. The Netherlands gave them very favorable terms. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, good for them. I'm glad they still have kind of a vestigial, um, presence in California,
And that they're
but,
still going to exist.
yeah.
'Cause I'm sure that's another
But yeah.
option.
So, but yeah, we'll see. But anyway, so that's what we have for this week.
Wow, what a great wrap up there. So everything we talked about, show notes will be available in the show, however you find that. And you can find that on YouTube, youtube.com/@thewhatcar. You can also find it at thewhatcar.com, where we post up a thing. And then also on every player with podcast stuff, you'll find that there. We're on social medias, share, do whatever you want. YouTube's where we're pushing, I guess, now. I don't know. This is what the boss wants, is the YouTube stuff. So that's what we're doing. And the rest of it, I don't know, go to the website and you can poke around. We have links there, like thewhatcar.com/advertise if you're a big company wanting to do some kind of larger sponsorship or anything that involves throwing money our way. I think we're back next week, and I think I might actually be around long enough to read some of the articles and be, I don't know, interactive in some way with the show.
Yes. Also, possibly another special episode coming up, but
that
is in the works. But sometimes the wheels turn slowly. But
stuff happens, I guess, when I'm away.
That's going to happen, but hopefully.
All right. Well, maybe I'll talk to you then.
Okay.